Even the smartest minds make mistakes sometimes. Today, we'll look at the top 10 biggest scientific mispredictions, from curious misconceptions to massive misunderstandings. You'll be surprised at how often even the best scientists got it wrong and what discoveries emerged from these errors. Number 10. The continents are stationary. Geologists used to believe that the continents were firmly in place and never moved. This changed only in the early 20th century when Alfred Wegener proposed the theory of continental drift. His idea that continents move across the Earth's surface was dismissed as absurd at the time. The scientific community laughed at him, but with the discovery of plate tectonics in the 1960s, it was proven that Wegener was right. Today we know that continents are in constant motion, which explains, among other things, how earthquakes and volcanoes occur. Number 9. Human flight is impossible. In the 19th century, it was often claimed that machines heavier than air could never fly. Even Lord Kelvin, one of the most well-known physicists of his time, stated in 1895 that human flight was impossible. He firmly believed that the laws of physics would prevent it. But just 8 years later, in 1903, the Wright brothers managed to make the first successful flight with their powered airplane, the Flyer. Number 8. X-rays are an illusion. When Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen discovered X-rays in 1895, he introduced a completely new form of imaging that allowed us to see through solid objects like skin and bones. Although he immediately took first images, many of his colleagues believed it was a trick. But X-rays revolutionized medicine and are now one of the most important diagnostic tools. Number 7. Radioactive radiation is harmless. In the early 20th century, radioactive materials were considered safe and were even used in everyday items. Watches with glowing dials coated with radium were popular. Even radioactive water was sold as health-promoting. It was only later that the devastating effects of radioactive radiation were recognized. Many people who worked with radioactive materials became seriously ill, suffering from diseases like cancer. Today, strict safety measures are in place for handling radioactive materials. Number 6. Smoking is good for your health. In the 1940s and 1950s, tobacco companies aggressively marketed smoking as beneficial for health. Doctors were shown in advertisements recommending cigarettes to calm nerves and improve health. During this time, smoking was hardly questioned in public. It wasn't until decades later that numerous studies concluded that smoking is a leading cause of lung cancer, heart disease, and many other health problems. Number 5. Nothing is smaller than an atom. For centuries, the atom was considered the smallest and indivisible building block of matter, a concept dating back to ancient Greek philosophy. But in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, scientists discovered that atoms actually consist of even smaller particles, electrons, protons, and neutrons. And it went further. In the 1960s, quarks were discovered, which are the building blocks of protons and neutrons. These discoveries revolutionized our understanding of particle physics and led to the development of modern quantum mechanics. Number 4. Humans will never conquer space. Before the start of space exploration in the 1950s, many scientists believed that it was impossible to send humans into space. The technical challenges seemed too great, but by 1961, the first human, Yuri Gagarin, traveled into space, and in 1960, the Apollo 11 astronauts landed on the moon. These pioneering achievements laid the foundation for future space missions and even plans to one day settle Mars. Number 3. The Earth is flat. The idea that the Earth is flat was widespread in many cultures. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Aristotle observed a lunar eclipse and concluded that the Earth must be round. But this idea didn't immediately gain acceptance. In the Middle Ages, many still believed that the Earth was like a disk surrounded by a vast ocean. It took the voyages of Christopher Columbus and Ferdinand Magellan in the 15th and 16th centuries to solidify the concept of a spherical Earth. Number 2. No one will ever need a computer at home. In the 1970s, computers were seen as large, complex machines needed only in big companies or in science. In 1977, Ken Olsen, the founder of Digital Equipment Corporation, even said, "There is no reason anyone would want a computer in their home." An error hard to imagine today, as PCs and laptops are found in almost every household. Number 1. There is no need for the internet. When the internet was developed in the 1980s, many scientists and tech experts saw it as a niche project for research institutions. Some considered it a fad without commercial use, but the internet quickly evolved into the backbone of global communication, research, and economy. Today, it is essential, both in science and in daily life. Science has brought us incredibly far over the past centuries, but as we've seen, even the greatest minds make mistakes. What's important is that we learn from them and continue to grow. What do you think? What mispredictions might await us in the future? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.